self-builders. I'm back again, Fenton here from Self Builds by Fenton, and today what I'm going to be talking about is drainage again. I think we're on part 7 now, or part 6, part 7 I think, where we'll get into some of the schematics surrounding our drainage design. We're nearly at the final stages. We're waiting for a reapproval from Thames Water, so stay tuned, get a cup of tea, sit down and listen to me for 5 minutes, I guess. Yes, people, so I'm back again with another episode of Self Builds by Fenton. As you can see, I've changed location, got a little bit of branding going on over here, got a bit of light going on over there. Can you see? I'm getting better with my lighting. It's coming along very slowly, but one day it'll be perfect and the setup won't change. It'll be consistent unless I'm outside doing some work or whatever. But yeah, what else has been going on? So just a quick personal update. So I've literally just been busy again, same old working. So going from a 9 to 5 to now being self-employed. One of the biggest challenges I've ever done in my life, but you know, I've got a bit of anxiety here and there, and I've been talking to my friends about it. It's been helping a lot. And learning to sell, like that's probably been the hardest element of this, learning to sell. And obviously I build websites as like my main source of income. But when you're under pressure, needing to, you know, get to the next month, it makes life a lot more challenging and difficult. But as I say, good exercise, maintaining good mental health keeps you framed in the right mindset to make sure that you'll be okay in the end, you know, and we all figure it out. And one thing I have realized about moving out of the 9 to 5 is that your mind just opens and you become a lot more creative when it comes to, you know, needing to eat and feed yourself, right? So not to say I'm starving or anything, but, you know, as I say, it is challenging just not knowing in the future, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line where you're going to be. But, you know, you've got to take some risks in life. And as I say, you build yourself up to the point where, you know, you can make these decisions. I've worked 9 years, hard graft in the private sector. And now I'm taking all those lessons, not just from within the private sector, from friends, family, etc., and going it alone. And don't look back, right? So, yeah. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get into a project update. So where we are at the moment with the project is we have, on the last episode, I showed you a drawing, more of a draft drawing as to where the project's at. For the next few minutes, I'll be explaining the more detailed design that the architect has created. Because what had happened, for those that are not aware, we submitted a build over agreement for Thames Water for the self-build project that I'm doing, and it was accepted and approved. But what we did was we found another drainage pipe that we didn't know existed, and unfortunately, it's a public sewer or public pipe, which means that we need to consult Thames Water about it, or at least re-inform them that the design now has to change as a result of discovering this new pipe. So I'm going to show you now the schematics of the before and after, just for those new people, obviously the people that have been watching this series, the 100 subscribers, should I say, the 100 people that have subscribed and are watching this series. Thanks to the 100 subscribers, by the way, people, thanks for your support, it's much appreciated. That have been watching this series, have seen, you know, in the past, hopefully, what the design looked like in the past and what some of the assumptions that were made. And now we've finally got annotated detailed drawings for which I can take you through. I don't know if it's going to take 1 or 2 episodes to talk about, but it might take, you know, maybe 2 to talk about it in 2 parts, but we'll see how long the video comes out. I don't want you sitting here. These episodes should, you know, take you through a cup of tea. You know, I'm a Yorkshire tea guy. Shout out Yorkshire tea. No product placement here, by the way, guys. Only my little branding going on over there for now, anyway. Waiting for those big brands to come and sponsor Self Builds by Fenton, right? But yeah, so the next stage, as I said, is to take you through the before and after drawings, just so if you're ever doing drainage yourself, you can at least learn something, hopefully, from me and what I've been through in this 7-part phase of the project. Naturally, you're getting live updates as I'm going through this, so all the lessons I've learned throughout the week on this self-build journey, you're going to be getting hopefully the most information out of it. If there's anything that you're unclear or anything I've not said that you wanted some clarity on, just pop it in the comments below, even though that no one's ever responded in my comments yet. Well, some people have, so thanks for that, but for those that haven't, write something in there. I need something to talk to somebody about. Just got people watching at the moment, so that would be nice and helpful if people could do that. But, you know, as I say, if you're getting value from it, if you're finding out information that is going to be helpful for you in your self-build project, then great. If not, as I say, put it in the comments and I'll try my best to answer any questions that you may have. Anyway, enough of me waffling. Let's get into this and let me show you where we're at with the design and what it physically looks like in its current state. So I'll just quickly give you a view of the before. I did this in the last video, but I'll do it again because I think it's really useful to reinforce for people that are new and also people that are just tuned into the channel to learn a bit about this. So the drainage run currently runs across the properties to the left hand side, and then the flow takes them out into the front garden and then out to the main road. This actually doesn't exist, this manhole here. There is a manhole a bit further up which is on the main road, which we know exists, but this was a recommendation by the architect for which we confirmed with Thames Water we don't need to implement. This manhole exists, this manhole exists, these two manholes do not exist, neither does this one. So this is the proposed design. This is what the architect that we had previously suggested. What we actually found out was that there's a public sewer line that runs across here as well. Originally we didn't know if it ran this way or if it ran this way, but yeah, we've confirmed that it 100% runs this way via a CCTV survey, and it also tees off to service these neighbours as well. So this is why we need to update the drainage design. So now I'll show you the next slide in relation to the new proposed design that we're going to resubmit to Thames Water based on the new information. And the reason we're having to consult Thames Water on this is because it's a public sewer line, so it's in their interest to know, you know, what's going on. And one clarification, and this is just for those that are other self-builders that are interested, if you ask Thames Water, they normally have all of these public sewer maps mapped out. But in our case, we did ask, but they don't have ours mapped out. So I guess we're helping them add to their map, right, by finding out all this information for them. So yeah, just a quick call out to anybody who, you know, before you start going and get CCTV surveys, just double check with Thames Water that they haven't already mapped out your sewer line, because obviously it's going to save you some time and some money. So here's the new design. The bright red is going to be the new foundation for both properties that we're going to build, as you can see here that I'm highlighting. And this is the drainage run we're concerned with. You saw it being mapped as per the last slide or page I just showed you. So drainage comes in from the left hand side neighbours through here, all the way out through to the main road, and that's the pavement there, and there's a rodding chamber there. So that's where the left hand side neighbours drainage runs. New proposed design, taking into consideration now that we've mapped it and confirmed that there is a drainage run flowing in this way. If you ignore the blue for now, because that was the architect's proposed design, it's coming in from the right hand side, and what it does do currently is continue this way and then flows out as well through to the main road. Just a bit of context, this element here, this part of the house didn't exist years ago, so that's why they obviously built, you know, a sewer for both sides of the properties flowing out through to the main sewer in the front. So in blue, anything in blue here is proposed by the architect, so he's come up with what he thinks is a compliant design. Now the only way to confirm that is obviously via Thames Water and building control, and that was the ask, right? We want a compliant design that meets building regs from a drainage perspective. And the nuance here obviously is that we've got 6 foot deep manhole, which is, as you can see in these pictures, they're all bricked up, both of them. So, you know, do we need to consider bricks? Do we need to consider concrete? There's multiple ways, and, you know, I guess it's best to pay the experts to work that out, as opposed to me trying to sit down reading building regs for this specific part, because look how complex this is. For a self-builder, I'm not sure if you're going to want to get into the minutiae of building regs in application to this level of design. So it's just logical that you would, you know, pay what's needed to be paid to get this done. So anything in blue is what he's proposed in relation to the new design, or proposed design, should we say. So as you can see here, these will be drainage runs, the new drainage runs in blue, and they will serve both
the new both new properties that we're going to build, and they will feed into 2 mini chambers. So these 2 local manholes for each property will be for foul, grey and surface water, and they will then connect into the 6-foot deep manhole that we're going to build in the outside the boundary of the house. So this is going to be the end of the extension. So you can see this is the existing property, and when we finally get started with this project, we're actually going to reduce the footprint of the property in relation to the length. That's what planning allowed us. We did ask, that they extend both of them out this far, but we're not allowed. So this is as far as we can go out as per current planning conditions. So as you can see, our design, or the architect's design, water flows in from the right hand side, or sewage flows in from the right hand side now, takes a left turn, drops into the main sewer, which is going to be obviously moved here, and the previous position of this manhole or sewer was here and here. So these will be completely ripped out. So will this one, and this will be replaced with just a straight pipe, as you can see in blue. And this manhole will be ripped out again and just replaced with a Y bend. And the 6-foot deep manhole will be here. So if, for example, there's a blockage, we're able to rod, or Thames Water are able to rod from this manhole all the way through to the front of the property. If there's a blockage around this area, they'll be able to rod through the manhole that is obviously servicing the properties on this side when it next appears. We don't actually know where that is, but naturally there is going to be a manhole over here somewhere where they can then rod all the way through if there is a blockage around this area. I think that covers everything. So hopefully that gives you more of an understanding. What I'll do, I'll post a picture so you can read some of the comments on this, and I'll put a link in the description so you can download it to give you guys a bit of help in relation to your drainage scenario, depending on whether it's that complex. But yeah, this is probably specifically related to people who have very deep manholes within their properties.
So as you can see, the drawings are very detailed and take you through everything we need to know about the drainage, assuming it's Thames Water that need to look at this. So Thames Water are going to be the deciding factor as to what happens here. We thought originally it was going to be building control, because this is a redesign and we're again impacting potentially Thames Water's drainage. We need to make sure that they're involved and that they're happy, and that we've got an email trail or an audit trail that we can trace back to, should, I don't know, in the future something happen and they say, why is it designed like this? We didn't approve this. We can point them back to the email where they gave their approval. So that's why we're doing it. Once they provisionally sign that off or are happy with that, then the ball gets batted over to the architect again, and what he's going to produce for us, and I've said this in previous episodes, is a more detailed drainage design, or construction design, should I say. So that's going to tell us like how much concrete we're going to need. It's going to tell us like what materials we're going to need, what piping, whether it's clay pipes, whether it's plastic pipes, how many manholes are going to be there, and also then what that allows us to do is come up with a cost or a price for how much all the materials and labor are going to cost. Ideally, we want to do this phase ourselves, but depending on how much it costs, obviously, will be the determining factor. And at some point, we're going to need to get investment for the rest of the project. So any investors out there, make sure you give me a call as and when I've done the numbers and get the presentation pack made. But yeah, we're going to need to work out whether we can afford to do it ourselves for this first phase, and then make a decision, as I say, whether we're going to throw it in with the rest of the project. That needs to be done in the future. But until we know how much it's going to cost, obviously we can't make that decision. But I'll definitely make sure to keep everybody up to date, and I will be giving a breakdown as to how much we're spending on all the materials for each phase of the project. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful to people. So I think that's all for this episode. Hopefully you've learned something, as I've mentioned before in this episode and the series. If you've found this content valuable, make sure you hit the like button. That helps me a lot. And also subscribe to the channel if you're not already, as usual. And tune in for the next episode. Hopefully by then we've got a decision by Thames Water, and maybe we've got the next phase of the construction drawings done by next Saturday, which is probably unlikely, but we'll see. And also look out for the next episode. I might be talking about artificial intelligence and AI and how that's helping me with my self-build project, and showing you like some live examples of how to use AI to help you with your self-build project. And also we're going to be posting a lot of short form content to help promote my content and get it out there more into the ether that is social media. So definitely look out for that. And if anybody needs help with their self-build project, just shout. I'll do my best. As I say, I'm not an expert, but as I say, with the drainage phase, I feel like I am. And also, if I don't know something, I'm quite tenacious to try and find it out. And I've got quite a few contacts in the sector. So if I don't know something, at least I can point you in the right direction to the right person to help you get your question answered. Other than that, yes, please like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next episode. So peace.